Do you think AI will solve all your problems? Maybe a few, but let's be real. It might also create some new ones. Without governance and standardization, AI can spiral into chaos, uncontrollable, risky, and even a little terrifying. Did someone say standardization? Wait, standards? Ugh, boring. I hear you, but here's the thing. When people or organizations choose to work with you, they're not just buying your product or your presence. They're buying your standards, the consistency and quality you deliver, the trust you build and represent, the values you enforce. Because at the end of the day, your standards create the effect. And in the world of AI, that effect can mean the difference between trust and chaos. That's why today we will focus on the 7 essential areas of AI standardization, the critical frameworks that ensure AI remains scalable, ethical, and a driver of innovation. My name is Kadir Özbayram, and this session is a very special and emotional one for me. Today I'm here not only as the CEO and co-founder of Inspire, but also as an author, the author of my first book, The Standards Effect. A book where I've captured decades of stories, experiences, and insights on how standards shape enterprises, technology, and innovation. The book is not just about AI, but about the power of standardization itself, how it enables companies to move faster, scale smarter, and innovate without chaos. If enterprises fail to manage standards, things spiral out of control, but when done right, standardization becomes the backbone of transformation. The launch is planned for May 7, 2025 in Las Vegas. If you want to be part of this journey, visit thestandardseffect.com and sign up to stay updated. Before we dive into the 7 essential areas of standardization in artificial intelligence, let's take a step back. AI is powerful, but without standards management, it's like building a skyscraper without a blueprint. Unstable, unpredictable, and bound to create problems. That's why I want to give you a quick crash course in standards management, so we are all on the same page before we talk AI in depth. We will start with the definition of standards, then break down their anatomy, explore the standardization process, and finally connect everything back to why AI needs standards to be effective, scalable, and safe. A standard is a consensus-based rule, practice, specification framework, or a technology established to fulfill a specific purpose within a geographical or functional scope. Think of it as the invisible backbone that holds everything together, from how we format files to securing AI models to ensuring regulatory compliance. But what exactly can we standardize? Let's take a closer look. Standardization isn't just about ISO norms or technology specs. Within an enterprise, there are 9 critical areas where standardization is essential, especially for AI. Take AI compliance, for example. The EU AI Act and NIST AI Risk Management framework aren't just suggestions. They define how AI must be deployed ethically and legally. Risk levels 3 and 4 under the AI Act could directly impact human lives, making compliance a non-negotiable priority. And then there is data quality, the backbone of AI. Standardized datasets, labeling, ensures that models don't inherit bias. Model documentation prevents inconsistencies that could lead to unreliable AI decisions. AI isn't just about intelligence, it's about security and control. Without clear standards, it can become a black box, unpredictable and unmanageable. We need strong standards for AI privacy to protect sensitive data, adversarial attack prevention to stop AI manipulation, and watermarking to ensure data integrity and traceability, so we always know where AI-generated content comes from. Even AI workflows need structure. Without standardization, models operate in isolation, making it impossible to track performance or updates. With standardized monitoring, scheduled model updates, and deployment processes like CI/CD for machine learning, AI remains transparent, scalable, and fully governed. These are just a few examples, but the key takeaway: AI governance isn't just about compliance. It's about ensuring AI remains secure, explainable, and truly enterprise-ready. We all love standards, but let's be honest, not everything needs to be standardized. So things aren't worth the effort, while others should be handled as exceptions, not rigid rules. The trick is knowing where to standardize and where to stay flexible, because that's what keeps AI scalable, adaptable, and manageable. Let's start with the sweet spot, the green zone. This is where standardization makes sense. It reduces complexity, improves efficiency, and cuts the costs. These are your standards candidates, and they are the foundation of AI governance. But not everything fits neatly into a standard. That's where exceptions, the yellow zone, comes in. Sometimes it's a specific use case which justifies breaking away from the standard, whether it's a unique business requirement or a local compliance need. Then we have the best of breed solutions, the red zone. These are high performance, high cost solutions that bring exceptional value, but should only be used when absolutely necessary. Think of them like luxury sports cars in an enterprise fleet. Great for specific use cases, but not practical for everyday operations. It could be the key differentiator to win the race against your competitors. And finally, the out-of-scope area. Some things simply aren't worth standardizing, either because they add no real value or the cost of enforcing them outweighs the benefits. These should be left alone to avoid unnecessary overhead. So what's the key takeaway? Standardization is a balancing act. Standardize where it adds value. That makes room for smart exceptions, and don't force it where it doesn't belong. AI isn't a single standard, it's a bundle of standards working together to drive innovation without chaos. But standards don't exist in isolation. They have a structure, a purpose, a scope, a life cycle, and a responsible manager. The purpose is the heart, the why, that gives it meaning and ensures it aligns with your organization's goals. Without a clear purpose, even the best crafted standard will fail. The truth is that no one will follow a standard they don't understand. The scope is the skin of the standard. It defines its boundaries, determining where it applies and where it doesn't. It protects by ensuring the standard is relevant, actionable, and focused. Think of scope as having three key dimensions: geographical, organizational, and target groups. If standards had a pulse, their life cycle would be it. A good standard isn't born fully formed, nor does it last forever. It evolves, adapts, and gets eventually replaced, ideally in a structured way, not in chaos. Let me illustrate this with a real-world example. Something simple, yet critical as battery life. Years ago, I got a call from Switzerland. Sales reps visiting doctors were running out of battery just hours into their day. Right before critical meetings, it wasn't just annoying, it was killing productivity. Back then, before smartphones and tablets, the best solution? Carry a bag full of spare batteries. Not exactly cutting edge, right? So fast forward a few years, that same caller reached out again, this time super excited. The iPad had just launched. It was lightweight, portable, and had all-day battery life, exactly what the sales teams had been asking for. Rolling out those iPads with custom enterprise applications, that took a lot of time, but the result? A 1-hour productivity gain per employee per day. Multiply that across a large sales force, and it was a game changer. The key takeaways are: emerging technologies don't just flip a switch overnight. They take time to integrate properly. That's why we need a structured process to govern, manage, and standardize them before they manage us. We have talked about why standards matter, how they evolve, and the processes behind them. But here's the big question: who actually owns and enforces them? We need someone accountable, the standards manager. This person is the steward responsible for maintaining the data related to the standard or managing the exceptions when something doesn't fit the mold. But standards management isn't a solo act. There's a full governance structure and best practices around this role that we won't dive into today, but here's a key takeaway. Without clear ownership, even the best standards will fall apart. Whether you choose a centralized model, a global standards board, a distributed approach with multiple stewards across teams, the key is accountability, transparency, and alignment with business goals. Because at the end of the day, a standard without ownership, it's just a suggestion. All right, I never thought I would be that person, the one who sneaks in a product pitch during a webinar. I usually roll my eyes, at these things, but hey, when it's your book, your own book, it's kind of fun, right? So here's the deal. What you're looking at is the first ever capability model for standards management. Yep, I mapped out everything for you, from governance to execution, so you don't have to do it. We don't have time to deep dive into the full standards management process today, but here are the key takeaways from that. You'll need a streamlined approach, one that captures ideas, structures, demands, and which builds standards in a controlled way. Because for AI, you can't just experiment endlessly and hope for the best. You'll need a process. Here's how it works. Capture and assess. Identify the gaps and evaluate if standardization makes sense at all. Not everything needs a rule. Draft and develop. Define clear, actionable standards. If people can't follow them, they won't use them. Pilot and approve. Test, validate, and get buy-in. A standard without approval is just a suggestion. Deploy and approve. Roll it out and continuously refine it. Standards aren't static, they evolve over time. For AI, this process ensures that models don't become wild, unpredictable experiments. Instead, they get the attention, structure, and governance needed to become a scalable force that propels your business forward. AI is powerful, but without standards, it's like an unsupervised toddler with a paintbrush, unpredictable, messy, and like to create a masterpiece or a complete disaster. To turn AI from chaos into controlled innovation, we need to focus on 7 key areas of standardization. Let's break it down. First things first, we need to deploy AI models and connect them to real-world data, both public and internal. Because AI without data, that's like a chef without ingredients, completely useless. But here's the problem. If you don't define clear standards for APIs, technologies, and testing, you're setting yourself up for chaos. Teams use different tools, integrations fails, and suddenly AI is this weird broken toy instead of a strategic asset. Standardization ensures AI is scalable, reliable, and doesn't break everything in production. Let's talk about what actually drives AI. It's data. And here's a simple rule. Garbage in, garbage out. You all know the drill. Imagine training an AI on low quality, biased, or incomplete data. What do you get? Garbage predictions, unreliable outputs, total nonsense. That's why we need data quality standards. There's an entire chapter in my book on the C4 data quality framework, which provides a structured way to ensure clean, accurate, and unbiased data. Because without clean data, AI is just an expensive random number generator. AI handles some of your most sensitive business information, intellectual property, customer data, internal knowledge. The problem? Without proper security standards, that data could leak, be manipulated, or stolen. Imagine your company's source code, your secret sauce, accidentally ending up in a public AI model. Next thing you know, what will happen is that someone is using it for free under an MIT license. Ouch! That's why we need standards. We need standards for encryption, anonymization, and access control so AI doesn't accidentally turn your competitive advantage into public domain knowledge. Would you trust a CEO who made decisions without ever explaining why? Probably not. So why should we trust AI does the same? Without transparency, AI becomes an unpredictable black box, making it impossible to audit or understand. This is why we must standardize explainability and auditability so that when AI makes decisions, we can actually trace back and justify how and why it arrived at a certain conclusion. Because if AI is making critical business decisions, you should at least know what's happening under the hood. AI models evolve over time, but without governance, things spiral out of control. Outdated models, undocumented changes, unexpected failures. Think of AI governance like parenting. You don't just create AI and hope, for the best. You monitor it, you guide it, and enforce rules so it doesn't go completely rogue. That's why we built AIPM, Artificial Intelligence Portfolio Management, at Inspire, the first market solution to manage AI models, just like any other enterprise asset. AI isn't good or evil, it just reflects the data it's trained on, and if that data is biased, well, you get biased AI. That's why we need clear standards for fairness, bias prevention, and responsible AI use. Without these, imagine a procurement AI which only recommends the same few vendors, limiting competition and stifling innovation. You see the problem? Without those ethical standards, AI can actually hurt our business growth, limit our diversity, and create unintended discrimination. Is that what we were looking for? Let's be real. AI should help people, not confuse them. If you are ever interacted with a terrible AI assistant, you know how frustrating it can be. That's why we need user interface and experience standards to make AI intuitive, accessible, and actually helpful. Because if AI is too confusing, people won't use it. Or worse, they will use it wrong. So there you have it, the 7 key areas of AI standardization. Each of these ensures AI isn't just powerful, it's ethical, explainable, scalable, and actually works in the real world. And remember, standards don't slow innovation, they enable it. They turn AI from a risky experiment into a strategic advantage. At the end of the day, we don't just do this for AI, we do this to create real business value for our organization. So now that we understand the 7 key areas of AI standardization, the big question is, how do we put this into practice? Standardization isn't about adding complexity. It's about using what you already have, closing the gap, and applying governance so AI becomes a controlled, scalable asset instead of an unpredictable experiment. Let's break it down and see how we can practically implement AI standardization in each of these areas. Don't reinvent the wheel. Standardize AI deployment by reusing existing enterprise API and authentication frameworks. If your company already has API governance, fantastic. Extend it to AI models. If not, set clear rules for integration, access control, and monitoring, so AI doesn't become a disconnected black box. Training data. Define your data quality criteria upfront. Use the C4 data quality framework or similar models to ensure consistency. Standardize labeling, documentation, and governance, because if AI learns from messy data, it makes messy decisions. Security and privacy. AI can't be an open book. Implement role-based access, encryption, and compliance alignment like GDPR, HIPAA, ISO 27001. Standardize how AI models access and store sensitive data so IP doesn't accidentally end up in public AI models. Document AI decisions. Use model cards like SHAP, LIME for explainability, and versioned logs to ensure every AI output is traceable. If AI makes critical decisions, it must be auditable, just like financial transactions. AI model governance is key. Manage AI models like enterprise assets. Set up a model registry, track versions, enforce approval workflows, and define monitoring and retraining schedules, so AI doesn't degrade in performance over time. Ethical frameworks. That will stop AI becoming a terminator. Fair AI doesn't happen by accident. Define bias testing protocols before deploying models. Set up AI fairness audits and integrate like IEEE 7000 or ISO 42001 ethics guidelines so AI aligns with business integrity, not just efficiency. AI should complement humans, not replace them. Standardize the user interface design like ISO 9241, 210, AI confidence scores, and escalation path. Define clear rules for when AI needs human oversight so critical decisions aren't left to automation alone. AI isn't just one standard, it's a bundle of standards working together. It's like an orchestra. Without structure, it's just noise. But with the right standards, it becomes a masterpiece. Without standards, AI is just an experiment. But with them, it's a driver of trust, innovation, and real business impact. I hope you found today's session valuable. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to our sales team at Inspire or email me directly at bookthestandardeseffect.com. And remember, standards don't slow you down, they set you up for success. Thanks for joining today and have a great day. Set the standard, shape your future.